Find the area of the circle and the square. So if we are looking here, this picture is created by the exponential function that is a e in x square, but we have the other that we change just the sign in the front of the exponent or in the front of the e, and we can create a beautiful figure here that applies to the symmetry. This is the beauty of mathematics in the art. So for us it's important here in this question to find out what is the area of the circle, what is the surface area of the square, and what is the area of the shaded region. Here this shaded region that is between the circle and the square. And let's start with the area of the circle. The area of the circle. We know this is the radius of the circle from here to here. This is a radius. And what we know here, according to this calculation, the radius is equal to 0.92 units. We don't know exactly what they are. They can be centimeter or millimeter or whatever, but probably this is a centimeter. But let's say those are just units, because we don't know exactly what units are. So now the surface area of the circle is equal to the pi times r square. So now, first of all, let's apply here, let's substitute the r. What is the value of the r? Let me take out the pen here. And a, the surface area of the circle, is equal with pi. And let's say pi, let's approximate with 3.14. 3.14. And this is a r squared. We already know it's 0.92. 0.92. Everything is in square. And let's try this to calculate. But first of all, let's take a calculator here. And the calculator is right here. So 0.92. Let's put on the square, which is 0.864. And time 3.14, which is equal with 2.65, or let's say is a 2.66. Let's approximate in 2 decimal places, which a is equal with 2.66. We don't know exactly what units are, but let's say units square. Let me call the u square. So I am calling this u as abbreviation for units. And now let's find the s square. Let's find the surface area of the square here, that is inside of the circle. To find the surface area here inside the circle, we are trying to find out here this a triangle, right triangle, because we already know here it creates a 90-degree triangle from D to G. Let's say this is a G point and this is a O point, and I'm trying in this triangle to apply the Pythagorean theorem. And according to Pythagorean theorem, the hypotenuse r square is equal with this side s over 2, because one side is from this point D to this point here down, but because it's here is in the half, I would say here is s over 2, the same distance what we have from G to O, s over 2. So side divided by 2. We don't know what is the side, but according to the Pythagorean theorem, we know s over 2 is in a square plus we have a s over 2 square. And now let me take one shortcut. But now here r square is going to be equal. So let me make one shortcut. Because I know if I'm distributing a square inside the parentheses, it's going to be s squared over 4. Same thing, if I'm distributing here, the square in a s over 2 is going to be s squared over 4. And s squared over 4 plus s squared over 4 is going to be 2s squared over 4. But 2 by 2 by 4 is going to simplify, and what is going to remain here is going to remain here s squared over 2. If I multiply 2 in both sides, this implies, so the s squared is going to be equal with a 2r squared. 2r squared. And now, instead of the s squared here, I'm going to substitute this 2r squared. And if I'm substituting there, then it's going to be as is going to be equal with the 2r squared. 2r squared. And now, if I am multiplying everything, here is everything. If I multiply, let me take a calculator, and let me bring this calculator a little bit down. So let's see what we are doing. This I'm taking out. So r squared is 0.92. So is square is a time 2, which gives me 1.69, or let me approximate in two decimal numbers, okay? So this is equal with 1.69. So this is 1.69. But now we already found that the surface area of the square is 1.69 unit square. So now we want to find the shaded area here. The shaded area is equal with the area of the circle, because this is between a circle and square, minus area of the square. We already have those values. Then A shaded is going to be equal with 2.66 minus 1.69 unit square. So, and everything is going to be equal, and A is going to be equal. Let me calculate it with calculator before I give any assumption about the result. So 2.66 minus 1.69, the result is 0.97 unit square.